What's up, guys? This is Kush here. The Synchro event is about to end very soon, and I have had my fun with it, and I think I'm done with it. But there are a couple things that I learned about it, which are new cards that I can add to the Pendulum deck that I already have. I wanted to make a video on this because there are some new combos that you can use in the ranked ladder, or just if you're trying to play for fun. These are definitely some things that you should highly consider. Alright, let's just jump straight into the video and I'll explain what I did. So, if you're already familiar with my other videos, you'll notice that this deck looks very similar to the previous ones I posted. It's essentially just 3 copies of the Pendulum Structure deck along with some other craftable cards. But essentially, the new combo is revolving around this one Synchro monster. You may have already heard of it, Baronne de Fleur. Insanely powerful Omni Negate. Omni Negate means negate spells, monsters, or traps. The reason it's so good is because he's so easy to make. The easiest way to make him is Harmonizing Magician. Harmonizing Magician has this unique effect where when it's pendulum summoned from the hand, you can special summon a magician from your deck. Any of them, as long as it's a Pendulum Magician. Which means you can bring out Oafdragon, who's a level 6, and easily make this Synchro 10. The Synchro 10 is strong, he can destroy a card on the field during your turn, and also he has like a unique weird effect, which might actually come up, which is during the standby phases, you can return him to the extra deck, and then you can special summon a monster from your graveyard that's level 9 or lower. I'm really loving this deck a lot. It's similar to the previous other Pendulum decks I have, except it has more combos using this new Synchro, which is really easy to access, and he does provide a lot of defense and offense for the deck. The deck list will be in the description below, and if you want to know more about this deck, I have previous videos which I'll annotate on the screen right now that you can watch if you want to see how I made the deck and my choices for it. But pretty much in this video, I'm just going to be going over the new combo and how much I love it. Let's jump into the replays. Alright, jumping into the first replay, my opening hand, as you can see, is not the greatest, honestly. I have Pendulum Call and 2 Pendulum monsters in my hand. I choose to discard the Dragonpit Magician. I did not need to do that. Had I not discarded the Dragonpit Magician and discarded Harpie's Feather Duster and maybe the other one, I might have been able to make the rank 7 and go into Audi's Vortex. But I really want to show off the Synchro combo here. So the simplest thing to do is set up your skills and Pendulum Summon Harmonizing from your hand. When it's special summon, you can bring out Oafdragon from your deck. You can have a lot of choices here, but I think Oafdragon's one of the better choices. And right away, I'm going to go into my Omni Negate, Baronne de Fleur. Baronne de Fleur can negate a monster spell or trap effect. And also on my turn, it can destroy stuff. And also, Time Pendulumgraph can destroy stuff too. It can destroy 1 card, and my skills cannot be destroyed because I activated a card called Pendulum Call. So right here, I'm able to get rid of both his cards, and I'm able to do a lot of plays now. So I'm able to add back Harmonizing from my extra deck to my hand thanks to Oafdragon's Pendulum effect, and now I'm just able to do a lot of things. First off, I'm going to activate Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer so I can get a lot of searches in my deck. It's actually very easy to search in a Pendulum deck because a lot of the effects have effects that say add certain cards. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get as much card advantage as I can. Try to get as many cards in my extra deck, on my hand, on my field, and possibly in my graveyard so that I can do something if anything happens to my board. So right here, I'm going to activate the trap, pop a card. Next turn, on my starting phase, I'm going to activate Baronne de Fleur, pop another card. I'm going to pop his trap because it might have been something that might have hurt me. Luckily, it wasn't really something. Well, lucky for me, I should say. And I'm going to activate my trap on my turn again. And then pretty much I just set up my skills, pendulum summon everything, and just attack. But yeah, that's a first example of this card. I was versing somebody who was using a Monarch type deck. But in the other replays, I'm versing more stronger decks. Okay, so here's an example of an opening hand where I have 2 hand traps. I have Harpie's Feather Duster again and Lightning Storm. My only searchable Pendulum card is Joker, which isn't bad because it adds me a Wisdom Eye. And the reason I add Wisdom Eye above every other Pendulum monster, because Joker can add a bunch of targets, is because Wisdom Eye, when he's used on the scales, as long as you have a Magician or Pendulum card in your other skill, this guy can become anything else. He destroys himself and then searches your deck for the other one. So I'm hoping that I at least draw another Pendulum card so I'm able to Pendulum Summon next turn. So that's why I searched out Wisdom Eye. I feel like it's the best one if you don't really have any Pendulum monsters to work with, because you're going to be top decking and you want to be able to top deck a Pendulum. I top deck a Maxx, a little too late, it's not going to do that much. Lightning Storm is actually kind of cool here, but honestly, it didn't really matter because he's gonna flip up this card called True Light. True Light protects his like Blue Eyes cards, and then also when it leaves the field, it destroys all his cards. So I'm able to just destroy everything he summoned. Then he summons Chaos Maxx. This card, if you don't already know, it's extremely powerful. Cannot be targeted by card effects. It also can be destroyed by card effects, and if it attacks a defense, it inflicts double piercing. So honestly, my only hope at all was just to draw Pendulum. And I drew Pendulum. Sorry about that. I had an incoming call. But pretty much what I did was I used Wisdomized on-field effect so that he can replace himself. I usually grab Oafdragon if I need a lower scale, because Oafdragon has the effect where I can add a card from my extra deck to my hand, so I can add back Wisdomized if I need to. And if I need a bigger scale, I usually add like a bigger scale by an 8 or whatever. I usually grab Double Iris or Harmonizing because they have really good effects. So yeah, go into Heavymetalfoes Electrumite. This is a very basic pendulum combo where Heavymetalfoes Electrumite can pop a card on my scale, and then it searches Astrophraph, and I add Astrophraph. Astrophraph can special summon itself because something was popped, and also I get a free draw. And I draw as anything. It's not like I choose what my draw is going to be. It's just a random card, so it could be a trap, spell, or monster. And then I bring out Borrelsword. Borrelsword is really good. It's one of my favorite boss monsters in this game, honestly, and it's super easy to make in this deck. It can attack twice. It also steals the attack, so I was able to get over Chaos Maxx, which can't be targeted, and had 4k attack just because Borrelsword just stole its attack, and I'm just like able to like attack him twice using it. So yeah, that was a really cool duel. I started with like one usable card and just like completely came back. Alright, here we go. This is duel number 3. My opening hand is a little sussy, I'm not gonna lie. I got, what, 2 of the same card, Pendulum Sorcerer, and 2 Jokers. Joker's the best normal summon in this deck, hands down. I'm always gonna search out Wisdomite if I need another scale, just because Wisdomite can replace itself and become anything. I search out Double Iris, so now I have an 8 and a 5. The 5 can replace itself for a 2, and I can Pendulum summon 1 card from my extra deck and as many cards from my hand as I want. The reason I don't Pendulum summon Joker from my hand is because Joker doesn't get his effect when he's special summoned or pendulum summoned. It's only when he's normal summoned. And I want to have that as something to fall back on. Like, if I need to like fall back on an effect, I can fall back on Joker. There are pros and cons of special summoning him. Like, I'll have an additional monster in the field. I'm able to do more combos and all that. But I feel like I'll be comfortable enough with what I'm going to end up with. Astrophraph is going to special summon himself. The basic Electrumite combo. Astrophraph is good because he's able to add me a card that was destroyed, which is Oafdragon, so I get another Oafdragon. And I just use this guy as my scale, because he has a really cool effect too, where if a face-up fusion, synchro, or XYZ that you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can just special summon the monster back, destroy this card. So it's a little bit of protection, even though I don't have a fusion or whatever, just in case I make one, like it'll actually come up. I set the trap, so right now I have Appaloosa, which can negate 3 monster effects total, and I have the trap card, which can like pop a card. So honestly, I did not need to activate the trap card here, but I did, and it forces out his quick effect, which is like he can chain to my trap card. My trap would have destroyed his card, and Appaloosa is just going to negate his monster effect. He's going to use Monster Reborn, and he's going to bring back my Heavymetalfoes Electrumite. I feel like the only reason he would do that is if he's going to Link Summon, and he does. He Link Summons into Borrelsword. The same guy brought out the last duel, which kind of won me the duel. This guy's really, really good. Luckily, he's not able to really do anything, and since I'm running Pendulums, I can just bring back everything again, so it's not really a big deal. Also, the opponent's Link monster has an arrow that points towards my board. In Pendulums, you can only Pendulum from the extra deck up to the number of arrows that are pointing, so I'm able to take advantage of his Link monster, which is insane. And he's going to activate Called by the Grave, which doesn't really do anything, it's just a dead card. And yeah, I have so many options on my field. I used my trap to destroy some stuff. Baronne de Fleur, because this card's amazing. He's going to switch it to defense, doesn't matter. Baronne de Fleur is going to pop his monster, go into the rank 7, and he's going to scoop. I could have there at the rank 7, I could have brought out the Vortex Fusion, which would have been an Omni Negate, and then Baronne de Fleur is also an Omni Negate, so he would have had to go against 2 negates, and also he has no cards in his hand, so it would have been very, very, very hard for him to come back, honestly. And this is the 4th duel. My opening hand is pretty good as because I have Pendulum Call. Pendulum Call is able to add me 2 Pendulum monsters from my deck. Star Pendulum, if a Pendulum leaves the field, I can add another one. Duelist Alliance, if one's on my scale, I can add one. So right away, right here, I'm going to use this. Oafdragon on my field and a Duelist Alliance. I want to add an 8 because I want to be able to Pendulum Summon Harmonizing. So I can instantly go into one of the best monsters in my extra deck. Baronne de Fleur, Omni Negate, it's 3k beater, it protects me. And I'm just going to be sitting on this for a bit. I have good hand advantage, everything's good. I set Purple Poison just in case something goes wrong. And I'm going to use Ash Blossom on his card that searches. I saw Ritual, so like when I saw Ritual, I'm like thinking like, oh, he's probably playing, what's that card, that deck again that can like negate a bunch of things? Herald or something. I'm like, he's probably playing that deck. So I couldn't negate, sadly, and I'm like, oh man, I hope he can do like full combo, you know? If he's able to do full combo, that might be really bad for me. But yeah, I'm just like seeing what he can do, seeing what he can make. He's gonna make this rank 1. It lets him do a lot of things. And he's just like trying to get as many searches as he can. He pops my Baronne de Fleur, which really does suck because I wanted that really bad. It's such a good card. And yeah, this is pretty much the board he's gonna end on. I think he was thinking that my monster had like low defense because this is he has 2000 attack. But it really doesn't. And what did I top deck there? I think I top decked. Oh, I didn't top deck anything actually. I just used the Harmonizing that I had in my hand from last turn. But I top decked an Ash Blossom, so I mean that might come up for next turn. Heavymetalfoes Electrumite is essential in a Pendulum deck. If you don't already run it, you should. It is so powerful. Right here, it's going to show like the true power of the deck. Oafdragon's going to add me a card. Heavymetalfoes Electrumite's going to pop me a card. The reason I pop Oafdragon instead of Double Iris is because I'm going to be able to add another copy of Oafdragon from my deck to my hand. And now I'm able to Pendulum Summon. I'm going to Pendulum Summon 1, 2, 3, 4. What I could have did better there was I could have not Special Summoned the guy put here, or maybe Oafdragon, so that Harmonizing could Special Summon one from the deck, but it's not really a big deal. Then I'm going to go into Appaloosa using the XYZ. The reason I use the XYZ is to bring out the Fusion, so now I have 3 Monster Negates, 1 Omni Negate. I can go into a Synchro if I want to. Had I played that a little better last time, I could have easily went into another one of Baronne de Fleur. So I would have had 2 Omni Negates and 3 Monster Negates. But yeah, those were the duels. I hope you liked them. Maybe they helped you out a little bit. I'm definitely liking the Pendulum deck with the new cards they're adding, and I want to see what else they're going to add. Hopefully the ban list doesn't like really hurt the decks too much. But yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. If you really liked it, feel free to leave a like or subscribe. I read all the comments, and I really appreciate all the kind words you guys are saying. Anyways, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Maybe I'll see you later. Peace.